KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
New at 6 this morning, authorities are identifying the mother of the two children who died in West Bexar County. Details next. Plus, the Astros swinging to build a rebuilded, damaged little park from the flood. And it's a team effort you're going to want to hear all about.
All right, we are starting off our day with a little more clouds. You'll notice it's a little more humid out there, too. That humidity going to provide a very small window for a chance for rain today, but better rain chances showing up in the forecast next week. Details soon.
Morning, guys. Welcome
morning.
here. Sunday morning, hitting 6 a.m. on your clocks over there. I'm over here with Sarah Spivey. How's it going this morning?
It's going great, Devin. Yeah. It is going well. You know, I had a great time yesterday at the Texas Seats Festival.
Did you get some good bites?
I did get some good bites. Nice. Got to meet a lot of awesome people out there. And you know what? As I've been combing through the forecast data, I'm happy to say rain chances are actually increasing in the week ahead.
There we go.
And we need rain. So let's go ahead and talk about the day today, though. Outside right now, it's in the upper 70s around San Antonio, low 70s up in the hill country near Kerrville. And New Braunfels, good morning, it's 73. Now, it is humid out there, too. It's more humid than it was yesterday morning. Take a look at dew points. Dew points are sitting in the low 70s right now. So with the dew point in the low 70s, that's some pretty tropical air, very noticeably humid out there. But here's the thing. By the afternoon, dew points are going to come down. It won't be quite as humid in the afternoon during the peak heat of the day. And so even though it's going to be a hot one with highs in the low 90s, that's when humidity is actually going to be at its lowest. So not too much of a heat index value today. So today, low 90s, and there is a small 10% chance for rain. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. And this week, a cool front is going to slide through on Wednesday. It'll be a weak front, but I have been able to increase rain chances Wednesday and Thursday because of that front. We'll talk all about it coming up in a few minutes. Devin.
Well, this woman right over here, Tiona Islar, is behind bars this morning after her two children died in far west Bexar County. Several Bexar County deputies responded to a call about two children left in a hot car on Saturday afternoon. One was a 3-year-old girl and the other was a 6-year-old boy. However, Sheriff Javier Salazar says he's still not sure exactly how this happened.
Initial report was that the children were left in the car. However, I can tell you, without going into too much detail, unfortunately, I'm not able to go into too much detail, there just are some inconsistencies with the story that we're being given.
A medical examiner made it to the scene, but we're still waiting on a confirmed answer as to how the two children died. Salazar also emphasizes that if you see a child locked in a car, you need to try your hardest to get them out, even if it means breaking a window. Well, this morning, a San Antonio police officer is facing some charges. According to SAPD, Cody Hagelin was charged with assault by strangulation of a family member after an incident in Medina County. At the time of his arrest, Hagelin was assigned to SAPD's SWAT detail. He's been with the department for 14 years. Now, per department protocol, Hagelin has been placed on administrative duty, and according to our reports, Hagelin is the 6th San Antonio police officer to face legal trouble in 2025. Well, the Astros and the Astros Foundation are stepping up for Central Texas with a big promise. They're teaming up to rebuild the Ingram Little League ballpark, which took a hard hit in the July 4th floods. But this isn't just an Astros project, it's a community effort. They're joining efforts with the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers, and other MLB teams, along with local baseball groups, to bring the beloved spot back to life. When it's done, the new ballpark is going to have 3 main fields, 2 practice fields, some brand new batting cages, and other upgrades picked over by the Ingram Little League Board. It's a home run for the community. Plus, we have an update from Uvalde. The Uvalde Consolidated School District says they've made a lot of progress in recovering from this week's technology incident. UCISD tells us that they have restored internet, security, heating, and air conditioning at their campuses, and they plan to have everything except phones up and running by Monday morning. The outage was caused after a ransomware was found on the district's servers. Well, Adult Protective Services estimates that 1 out of every 10 older adults in Bexar County is abused, neglected, or exploited every year. It's a sobering statistic that the director of the city's Department of Human Services shared with the Public Safety Committee. New council members gave a current status report as to where San Antonio stands when it comes to elder abuse and domestic violence. Assistant Chief Jesse Salome says fraud against the elderly is on the rise.
Several financial exploitation categories, especially fraudulent use and possession of identifying information and financial abuse of the elderly, have seen notable increases from 2023 to 2025 year to date, which to us indicate a growing trend in scams and identity-related crimes that are being committed against the older adults.
Metro Health's analyst says the number of domestic violence calls and reports have stayed relatively consistent. Well, if you receive money from the federal government, you've only got a couple weeks left to make sure you can get it digitally. The Treasury Department plans to stop issuing paper checks for most payment over on September 30th. That's going to include Social Security beneficiaries. More than 500,000 Social Security recipients, less than 1%, are going to need to choose another way to receive their Social Security benefits. That can either be through direct deposit or through a prepaid debit card known as Direct Express. Well, the Trump administration says a deal to keep TikTok running here in the U.S. could be done in just a few days. Most of the app, about 80%, is going to be owned by American investors like Oracle, Andreessen Horowitz, and Silver Lake. Chinese investors will keep the other 20%. The White House says that the U.S. will control the app's algorithm and have 6 out of 7 board seats. Last year, Congress passed a law to ban TikTok over national security worries unless China sold it to American owners. President Trump had paused that ban several times to give both sides time to work out a deal. Time right now coming up here on 606 in San Antonio, 78 degrees outside. Coming up next, the story behind the Head for the Cure 5K, a race that started with a brother's promise to fight brain cancer and now unites communities across the country. Plus, a San Antonio motorcycle group is riding to rescue for kids facing abuse, offering support from courtrooms to the community.
And outside right now with live cam, you can see we are starting off with a bit more clouds than we have the last couple of days. We'll have a better chance for rain in the week ahead than initially thought. I'll have details coming up.
Welcome back. Well, a San Antonio nonprofit of motorcycle riders is working to help kids who are facing abuse in Bexar County by bringing them into their group of guardians. The group is called Guardians of the Children, and they help kids by taking them to and from court if they need to testify in a trial or keep them company if they feel scared at home. The group had their 19th annual Victim to Victor fundraiser yesterday, all to keep up their mission of helping kids however they can.
It's phenomenal. It's not uncommon for them to come in very closed off, and I don't know if y'all heard the national anthem, but seeing them go from closed off to singing on a stage in front of a pretty full crowd, man, that's it right there.
So the organization was able to raffle off a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle, all to make sure they can keep up their mission of helping children who have been through abuse. Time right now is 6:11, still 78 degrees outside. We'll have more on GMSA coming up after this. Over here at KSAT, we're getting ready for the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K, which started in San Antonio as a way to honor our late news director, Jim Boyle. However, the nationwide mission to raise awareness and funding to support brain cancer research got its start more than a decade before the race reached here. Our Stephanie Cerna talked with the founder and president of Head for the Cure, Matt Anthony, and how this race was established in honor of his late brother.
He was active, he was a runner, and it came from nowhere.
Matt Anthony, the founder and president of the Head for the Cure Foundation, tells us his brother, Chris Anthony, was 34 years old when he was diagnosed with glioblastoma stage 4 brain cancer. Before his death, Chris, who had always enjoyed competitive running, talked about raising money and awareness for brain cancer by starting a race.
A few months before he passed, it was really his idea. He said, this is a disease that is under-researched, seemingly because it's underfunded. How about if we do a 5K? Maybe we, bring a little bit of attention to this disease.
The idea eventually turned into the Head for the Cure 5K, which started in Kansas City. It expanded to Dallas, Austin, and then in 2014, here in San Antonio. The race here honoring KSAT's late news director, Jim Boyle.
Erin Dempsey, who is Jim's daughter, She lives in Austin. She attended our Austin event. She reached out to me, and we had a small staff at the time, and said, it was such a great experience. I want to bring Head for the Cure to San Antonio and honor my dad.
The Head for the Cure 5K is now in 26 cities across the country, giving participants not only a chance to raise money for brain cancer research, but also a way to remember their loved ones.
You had made mention that your brother wouldn't want it to be all about him, but as Chris's brother, how does it make you feel to be able to help so many people in his honor?
Well, I miss my brother, of course, and I miss him every day, but I also feel his intense presence. Chris would not want it to be about him, but yet his spirit, his energy, his positivity, his ordinariness, that he just wanted to live, that animates everything that we do at Head for the Cure.
Well, you're welcome to join us for our Head for the Cure 12th Annual. Coming up on this Saturday, September 27th, the race is going to start at 8 a.m. right outside of the KSAT studios over at Providence Catholic School. Don't miss the chance to be part of an incredible cause. You can register now and use the code CURE to get $7 off your registration fee. How you feeling, Sarah? Obviously, we'll both be working that Saturday.
But it's really become a tradition for KSAT every year for us to host this event. And I love seeing the families out there. I think that is the thing that is the most heartwarming. There's survivors that are out there racing as well, families of those who have battled brain cancer. And so I can't wait for it again this year. We are just a short 6 days away from that.
I've heard so many great things about Jim Boyle over the years, of everything that he did for the station, all the people here. And I love that this is a tradition we've managed to keep going, and year after year, people still show up for it. So time to stretch out, get ready for it.
Are you expecting to run, maybe do some live reporting?
I would like to. I've asked to see if we can, so we have these like live view backpacks. That's how we're able to go live. I want to see if I can hook one up to a GoPro, maybe do some running while we're doing that.
That would be amazing.
Be cool on the show.
Let's make it happen, David.
All right,
All right, so today it's mainly going to be a lot like yesterday. So yesterday was hot, a little humid, but there is a small window for rain today. So let's go ahead and walk you through your KSAT 12-hour forecast. It's mostly cloudy out there right now and in the 70s. By noon, it'll be 83 and partly cloudy. Here's when we have that small chance for rain. I mean, we're really only talking about a 10% chance after 3 p.m. through sunset. Otherwise, it's going to be hot, 93 degrees for the high. I want to show you on the futurecast that small 10% chance for a stray shower. So again, this is a look during the peak heat of the day. And what I mean by a 10% chance, it's not necessarily going to rain at Schertz. This area could be anywhere around south central Texas, but any rain that's going to develop will be very localized. We're talking maybe about 5 miles for some folks. So not much at all when it comes to rainfall for us, just a small 10% chance. And then once we lose that daytime heat, once the sun sets, our rain chance is done for the day. Let's take a look across the nation. There are some showers across areas in Kansas and in Oklahoma. This is around an area of low pressure. But what we're going to see build over Texas in the coming days is this high. It is going to be hot as this high settles over Texas. Take a look at that. We're going to be at 95 tomorrow and 96 on Tuesday. But I'm sure you're seeing it. There's going to be a big drop in temperatures, at least a 5 degree to 10 degree drop in temperatures, all because of a weak cool front that's going to be pushing through Texas. Now, yesterday it was looking like this front was going to be even weaker, a measly front. But the latest forecast data is showing that we could actually see a noticeable drop in temperatures as well as a noticeable chance of rain as well. So take a look at the futurecast. There's that high building in. Low pressure develops off of the Rockies, and this low is going to be strong enough, I think, to drop that cool front into Texas Wednesday and into Thursday. So what's going to happen is Wednesday, we'll see that front move through and approach San Antonio, and then that front is going to stall out on Thursday. So that's why we have rain chances both Wednesday and Thursday, with slightly higher rain chances on Wednesday itself because of that front. So about a 40% chance on Wednesday, 30% chance on Thursday. Again, that means there will be some folks that miss out on the rain, but we have increased those rain chances from even just yesterday, and we need rain. Here's a look at the drought outlook through December. Across a good portion of Texas and the yellows here, that's where drought is expected to develop through the end of the year. And we're in drought here, a multi-year drought in San Antonio. The browns through Del Rio, San Antonio down to Corpus Christi, that's where drought is expected to continue. So any little bit of rain helps. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about rainfall potential, rainfall amounts Wednesday and Thursday. But take a look at what that front does to our weather. It does bring us a chance for rain, allows for highs to dip into the 80s, which is not necessarily cool, but it's cooler than we will be the next couple of days. And those mornings, Devin, those mornings could be pleasant in the 60s, especially if you live outside of the city center, so Hill Country, Castroville, out toward New Braunfels, Seguin. I think morning lows have a better chance of getting into the mid-60s in those areas.
I tell you, that makes my weekday morning live shots a lot better when I'm able to go out and it's nice, it's cool, I'm not sweating when it's already 5 in the morning. So
we're starting to get to that time of the year where the mornings can feel pretty nice.
Maybe Texas winter, quote unquote.
Yeah,
we'll see.
right.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, time right now, 6:21, 78 degrees outside here in San Antonio. Well, coming up next, take a look over here. The Texas Eats Food Festival packed with delicious bites, familiar faces, and a winner taking home some of the top honors. We'll show you some of the bites that gave San Antonio something to eat about coming up next.
Train to become the greatest warrior that the world has ever known.
What else do you require, my lords?
Fear.
A new spin on The Dark Knight in time for Batman Day. HBO Max has debuted Aztec Batman Clash of Empires. The animated film is part of numerous Bat celebrations taking place this weekend.
We'll go back in time to that mystic land.
Spinal Tap 2: The End Continues is in theaters now, and co-star Harry Shearer said it was fun getting the band back together.
Oh, man. You know, after the initial doubts, because I'm going, gee, we caught lightning in a bottle once. We're going to be that lucky again? And if we aren't, are we going to damage the reputation of the original one? Once I got past that, it was huge fun.
Let's get together and feel alright.
The music of Bob Marley is getting Las Vegas audiences together. Bob Marley Hope Road debuted over the summer at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The stage show featuring Marley's music has expanded to running 7 days a week with matinees on Saturdays and Sundays. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, so last night, KSAT's David Elder hosted the Texas Eats Food Festival, and pretty good crowd. Thousands of people turned out to savor some of South Texas's finest food and drinks, and if you were there, chances are you spotted more than a few familiar KSAT friends enjoying the festivities along with you. And here's the team that won big. Coming up there, the Wagon Wheel, coming to us over from Eagle Pass. They beat out 35 other teams to claim the prize, the best bite of 2025. Man, looks pretty good. All right, time right now, 6:27 here in San Antonio. Still sitting at a nice 78 degrees. The San Antonio Rodeo wants to spend $240 million to boost East Side events, but voters have the final say this November, where the crowd's leaning towards. Plus, coming up, we're also taking you inside a San Antonio hub, helping businesses avoid extra taxes and who are keeping prices low with the Smart Foreign Trade Zone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Sitting at 6:30 here in your Sunday morning. We're doing great with Sarah, talking about a little bit of the weather.
Yeah.
Techport, you were able to go to the Texas Eats Festival, right?
I was yesterday, got to meet a lot of awesome folks, got to eat a lot of delicious food.
Nice.
It was really fun. And the only thing that could make it better is rain chances increasing. And as I was looking over the data this morning, I have increased rain chances in the week ahead. So yeah, let's hope it comes to fruition,
Love
right?
to hear it.
Temperatures though outside right now are warmer than how we started off the day yesterday. You'll remember yesterday we were in the 60s in the Hill Country. Now it's only in the low 70s, so we are warmer, we're more humid, we've got some clouds out there. And as we look at the day today, it is going to be, eventually we'll see a little bit more sunshine with partly cloudy skies, and there's a chance for some rain, only a 10% chance. right? We've only got a 10% chance during the peak heat of the day around 4 or 5 o'clock, but that small chance is there. But that's not the rain chance I've increased, okay? I've increased rain chances by Wednesday and Thursday. They're up from 20 to 30% to 30 to 40%. So it's a small increase, but the reason for that is a cool front. And I've got to look ahead to the dip in temperatures, how much rain we could see, and what you could expect generally for the rest of the week. I'll have those details soon. Devin.
A prolific inventor and a driven entrepreneur. That's how 72-year-old David Monroe is described by those who knew him well. Monroe tragically died on Friday when a jet engine fell on him at work. Those close to him are mourning, but say his legacy will live on.
Thank you. Thank you for being a mentor and a friend.
It's a difficult moment of reflection as a STEM visionary died Friday. David Monroe, the founder of the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology, or SAMSAT, had a jet engine fall on him while he and a coworker were transporting the engine at Boeing Center at Techport.
David was an amazing inventor and entrepreneur, was a one-of-a-kind person who could take a technology, explain it to you, build it from scratch, and then create a strategy to bring it to the whole city in an impactful way.
Colleague Cliff Zinkgraf explains Monroe was a great service to the digital age, working at DataPoint Corporation, a large computer company here in town during the 70s and 80s. Zinkgraf adds Monroe's contributions were not just felt here in San Antonio, but across the world.
He holds the patent for the first use of a camera and a cell phone. I think he'll be remembered for his contributions to technology all over the world and for the impact that he made on students and families in San Antonio through his work at SAMSAT.
In a statement, SAMSAT and David's wife, Lorena, wrote in part, his final chapter was bringing this impact to all corners of San Antonio. He'll be greatly missed by his family, friends, and colleagues at SAMSAT and beyond.
His legacy will continue, and the team here will continue to build SAMSAT and bring these amazing benefits that he built to our community.
Well, it's no secret there was a massive backlog of domestic violence cases in Bexar County and across Texas. For criminal cases alone, that backlog number is over 6,200 at the Bexar County District Attorney's Office, meaning survivors are waiting months or even years for protection or justice. Courtney Friedman has been following this since 2017. Last week, she went back to people who handle the cases and asked what needs to change for survivors to get help sooner. This is part of Courtney's series on domestic violence called Loving in Fear.
It was extremely frustrating.
When Carly Williams reported the abuse she was experiencing in her relationship, it took her 9 months to get a protective order.
Bexar County, they explained to me after I reported the incident that there was a continuous backlog from COVID.
All of these files are the family violence cases ready to go to trial.
But this past KSAT reporting shows there's been a backlog of criminal cases long before COVID. Williams made her report to police about 2 years ago.
My ex-partner was just recently indicted and we have not gone to trial. I don't know if we're going to go to trial.
Why do these domestic violence cases take so long?
They take more time as we work with law enforcement to get evidence. We don't always have all the evidence that we need. And that's just sort of the review intake process. Then you have the court process.
We checked back in with the Bexar County District Attorney's Chief of Family Violence Division, Melly Powers, who openly said the main issue is staffing, directly related to county funding. Right now, there's still an intake case backlog in their office of over 6,200 cases, and their attorneys are dwindling. Misdemeanor attorneys currently only 50% staffed.
It's been at least 5 to 10 years where this has been a serious problem getting worse. And the pandemic did not help, and our economic uncertainty is not making it any easier.
Heather Bellino is the CEO of the Texas Advocacy Project, which offers free civil legal services for abuse victims.
On the criminal side, we are seeing cases lasting 2, 3, 4 years. And on the civil side, getting protective orders is getting more and more difficult.
Texas Advocacy Project attorneys work with district attorneys' offices across the state, helping fill in resources when available.
Unfortunately, there's a finite amount of resources and bandwidth bandwidth available.
Because you're being truly affected by federal funding cuts that trickle down from the state.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're 3 staff attorneys short right now, and they are closing nearly 6,000 cases a year.
Bexar County has one of the biggest backlogs in the state, but is on par with the other largest counties. So while the issue lingers everywhere, survivors remain in danger for longer.
The fact that you're bringing something like a protective order to a formal court is not going to make somebody happy that abused you. So it's extremely dangerous, yes.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Courtney's also digging into the staffing issues in the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. She finds out how bad that problem is, what employees think the fix is, but why they're worried it won't happen. We also want to make sure that anyone being abused gets the help they need. There are resources out there. You can scan the QR code on your screen. That'll direct you to a list that includes legal resources. You could also get that info by visiting ksat.com/domestic violence. Well, a San Antonio hub that helps businesses avoid extra taxes and keeping prices down. All from the clothes you wear to the cars you drive. A lot of what we use every day comes from another country. This morning, we're taking you inside a special warehouse at Port San Antonio called Optech. It's part of a foreign trade zone, meaning companies can store overseas shipments here without paying tariffs until those products leave. The setup gives local businesses more flexibility and control over their own supply chain.
Instead of paying it all up front, they can pay it metered out to when the customer pays for that product. That's when they'll pay the duty.
An economic impact study released in May revealed Port SA's economic impact to the state of Texas as more than $9 billion. CPS Energy is expanding. The company announced a $1.3 billion deal to buy 4 natural gas power plants in southeast Texas. The plants are in the Houston area and produce more than 1,600 megawatts of power. That's enough for hundreds of thousands of homes. CPS says buying ready-to-go plants saves time and money compared to building brand new ones. Plus, these plants can use hydrogen blends to cut down on pollution. The deal should be done later this year. The San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo is campaigning for a roughly $240 million proposal to bring more Western and rodeo-type events to the east side. But it's ultimately up to Bexar County voters. This November, they're going to consider Propositions A and B. Prop A would improve the Frost Bank Center and Freeman Coliseum and the overhaul surrounding the grounds. The goal is to attract bigger conventions, trade shows, and events. Rodeo officials say this will help with filling the vacancy of the Spurs if they leave to a downtown arena, which is also on the ballot as Prop B. However, some Eastside residents at a town hall still aren't so sure about the idea.
This is all positive pro because it's by the people that want it. I was hoping more elected officials would be here to also either answer questions or ask questions.
The majority of the crowd in attendance was in favor of the idea. Rodeo officials explain if passed, this would be primarily paid for by taxing tourists and visitors. All right, time right now here, 6:39 in San Antonio, 78 degrees outside. Still coming up ahead on GMSA, a unique program where high schoolers learn to start their own business while mastering the art of the beauty, from classroom lessons to salon practice. Plus, Texas's early teal duck season is here, but this year it's shorter than it's been for the last 2 decades. Why environmental experts say this happened and what's happening with the duck population.
Alrighty, we are starting humid, and today is going to be one of those days where it's going to feel more like summer than September. But we do have a cool front in our forecast. I'll have those details coming up.
Welcome back. The early teal season has officially kicked off across Texas, but this year it's going to be shorter for the first time in almost 20 years. Teal is a species of duck identified by their green or blue coloring along the wings. They're the first of the ducks to migrate south for the winter, giving duck hunters an early season before regular duck season starts. But this time around, the season is going to go from 16 days to just 9 days. Texas Park and Wildlife Department says the reason behind the condensed season is due to the duck's population dropping below the 4.7 million mark. An official says the cause of the decline is a persistent drought in their breeding grounds in Canada and the North and South Dakota's prairie lands.
droughts are cyclical. And so this is just a prolonged drought that the prairies have experienced, and the birds are simply responding. In this particular case, after this prolonged drought, their overall abundances have triggered a threshold such that it has required us to have a reduced season.
Texas Park and Wildlife says duck hunters are disappointed with the shorter season, but that they support recovery plans to help the bird's population increase. The early teal season starts coming up over on September 20th and runs through September 28th. Well, it's a program designed to help high school students open a business right after they graduate, all while helping people look their best. Yesterday, I got to take a look inside in the classroom and onto the Hurricane Salon floor over at Sam Houston High School.
There's a lot of ways to study psychology.
I just want to understand the human's mind and why we react to things we react to.
But before Janiyah can step into the lab, she says one of the best ways to get in someone's head is through their hair.
I want to go to college, but I also want to have just in case I need a side job to have my license so I could do hair on the side.
She's here with dozens of other students at Sam Houston High School, working to get her cosmetology certification, doing a number of treatments.
It's hair, facials, hand massages, waxing, manicures, pedicures, much more too.
Right now I'm doing a facial wax. I'm waxing her underlip.
It's all part of the program here in SAISD. Students spend their first year learning in the classroom and getting on the floor after that. And now, for the first time, anyone in the community can come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays to get their own makeover.
I want to be a personal stylist, so I'm not technically going to work in the shop, but I'll do it on the side still.
And when these students graduate, they'll have everything they need to start working and maybe even open up their own shop.
How cool is it you get to come out of this program with your certification, right?
Yes, that's really cool. It really gives us the opportunity to have a setup of a job for when we get out of high school.
Ma'am, what do you think of the service? Has it been good so far?
It's been a long time since I had the things that she's doing today, so I feel really great.
While Janiyah still has some time before going to college, she's exploring a passion for hair while learning skills you can't read in a book.
The most challenging part has been actually talking to people, because I've never been the type to talk to somebody, but here I am today.
All right, Devin, let me see.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. It's the first
good.
time I ever had one of those. I was like, I get what the hype's about. It's nice,
awesome.
It's cool. And they're building great skills, too. I mean, they get to come out of high school, certification ready, good to go.
That is a wonderful resource. So
cool
thanks
stuff.
for showing us that. All right, let's talk about weather. Yes. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want us to focus on in the forecast here. The first thing to focus on is that today is going to be hot. It'll be in the low 90s, but there is a small 10% rain chance. We'll talk about that in just a second. But the big thing this week is that we expect a cool front on Wednesday. And on Wednesday and Thursday, I have been able to increase rain chances a little bit, 30 to 40%. So not a slam dunk guarantee for rain, but increased rain chances from what we were even thinking yesterday. So we'll keep you posted. Here's a look at the futurecast though for today. Remember how I said there's a small 10% chance for rain? Take a look at your screen. This isolated showers could be anywhere. It could be over Livonia or it could be over downtown San Antonio, but the timing here would mainly be in the afternoon and early evening. And what we're talking about is very isolated rain. Some cases only 3 miles or so of folks will get rainfall. So that's why I say there's only a 10% chance. Very little of us will be getting that rain today. Otherwise, once we lose that daytime heating, our rain chance will go away. So just to wrap up everything in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, mostly cloudy early this morning and in the 70s. By noon, it'll be 83. It'll be a little humid in the afternoon, 93 for the high. There's that 10% chance for a stray shower or even a stray storm. Southeast winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It'll be 92 in Kerrville, 97 in Del Rio. I met some folks yesterday at the Texas Eats Festival that drove in all the way from Del Rio and all the way in from Cuero. So a lot of viewers around the area going to be dealing with those temperatures in the 90s. By tomorrow and Tuesday, it's going to be hot, 95 and 96. Tomorrow, fall officially starts in the afternoon with the autumnal equinox. It's not going to feel like it. It's going to be some 5 5 to 10 degrees hotter than average. But then notice there is a drop in those highs. By the middle of the week, they'll only be in the 80s, and it's because of a chance for rain associated with this cool front. So let's go ahead and show you temperatures across the state of Texas. This cool front is not necessarily going to be that crisp, cool fall cool front that we usually see by the end of September and early October. Instead, it is, though, going to cool things down into the 70s in the Panhandle, and will be in the 80s here in San Antonio. Now, until then, that high will build over. That's why we're going to be hotter Monday and Tuesday. But then Wednesday, that front will slip into Texas, make its way towards San Antonio during the day on Wednesday, and then stall out on Thursday. And that's why we continue to see rain chances on Thursday as well with that stalled front. How much rain could we see? Well, the vast majority of folks will see less than an inch of rain, but some areas could see more than an inch. So when I put it all together for you, widespread, most of us will see less than an inch of rain Wednesday and Thursday, but some folks will see more than an inch of rain. It's impossible to know exactly where that heaviest of the rain will fall, especially this far out from Wednesday and Thursday. But hey, it's something. We need rain. We're under extreme and exceptional drought. Now, just putting everything together for you. Hot today, 93 with a 10% chance. Even hotter tomorrow and Tuesday as we start fall officially tomorrow. Then that front arrives on Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's what allows for us to see our highs only in the 80s, a chance for rain. And then mornings, Devin, not to be ignored. Mornings will likely be in the 60s on Thursday morning, Friday morning, and even Saturday morning. And this is that time of year where if you wake up early enough, you're rewarded with comfortable mornings every now and then. And I think that's going to be the case, especially by the end of the week.
Good to know there's something waiting for me on the early morning shift.
Yeah, as you're out there reporting, you'll be enjoying those temperatures in the 60s, Devin.
Love to hear it. Thank you, Sarah. All right, time right now, 6:51 here in San Antonio. Still 78 degrees outside. Taking a look at TransGuide so far, conditions look pretty good out there on the roads. A lot of people hustling and bustling here on this Sunday morning. Hey, wherever the rest of your weekend plans are taking you, we've got you covered here on KSAT. Stick around for more GMSA right after this. Well, there's some new parking rules for people in Converse. Drivers cannot park a commercial or oversized truck on public streets unless they're actively loading or unloading. That includes semi-trailers, buses, tractors, or delivery trucks. Those vehicles can also not park on residential streets at any time. To be clear, the new ordinance is not aimed at vehicles like SUVs, pickup trucks, or cars. You can read about the fines to go along with it over on KSAT.com. All right, coming up here, almost on 6:55 this morning, 78 degrees outside here. Coming up more, we've got some finishing you out stuff for the weekend here on GMSA.
And good morning to you on this Sunday. Coming up here on GMA, the memorial service for conservative activist Charlie Kirk, expected to draw a massive crowd in Arizona. Details on the tribute and the tight security detail on hand for that public memorial. Plus, here, new changes proposed for childhood vaccines and the COVID shot. Dr. Sutton is right here to outline what this could mean for your family. Also, the WNBA playoffs, they are gearing up for the semifinals. The match is on deck today after a thrilling season, and it's a big Sunday for football. ESPN's Herm Edwards is going to join us with his take on Week 3 of the NFL. It's all coming up right here on GMA.
Today is all about honoring an ancient Indian custom that's been around for over 5,000 years. Today, it's National Chai Day. The rich, sweet, and creamy hot drink started in India, but has won hearts across the globe. Starbucks also played a pretty big role in making it a favorite for a lot of Americans. It's made with black tea leaves. Chai stands out with flavors of cardamom, cinnamon, and ginger. The National Day celebration on September 21st was first established in 2018 by a maker of Indian liqueurs. Cool stuff there. You like chai?
I love it.
Yeah.
Love a dirty chai. So a little espresso in there.
Woof.
Yeah. A lot of energy. And you'll need energy this morning because it's humid outside and temperatures will be climbing quickly. By noon, it'll be 83. The afternoon high is going to be 93, and there's a very small 10% chance for a stray shower today. Otherwise, it is going to be hot in the coming days as we start our week. 95 tomorrow. Fall officially starts with the autumnal equinox in the afternoon. And then Tuesday, even hotter, 96. But before it can get too hot, cool front to the rescue. Not really packing too much of a punch when it comes to our temperatures, but it is going to bring a chance for rain. And I've increased those rain chances. Wednesday, 40%. Thursday, 30%. Temperatures are going to drop to highs closer to average, which is the upper 80s this time of year, and mornings will be in the 60s. We'll talk rainfall amounts coming up at 8.
Awesome. Sounds good, Sarah. So your KSAT to do is drink chai and put on sunscreen, right?
Why not? And watch us at 8.
Hey, there sounds good.